All right, welcome in everybody. Jason, TCP Super system I built over 2 to 3 years to identify opportunities in cryptos and stocks. If you appreciate technical analysis that's original, unique, that you can't get anywhere else because I built the system, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell. The system signals interpretations. My trades are not financial advice. Please consult a licensed professional before you make any trades. You could lose all your money. Got a pretty good one tonight for you, I believe. We've had some pretty, continued downward price action in a lot of these assets the last couple of days, coming off our, Sunday video. We've updated some zones. We've identified some new zones. Could Bitcoin go to the 60s? That could be a very important and would absolutely create some pressure on people like Michael Saylor. Because I think they've already mentioned that his average buy is around 75,000 ish. But I'm going to show you why it could. I'm not saying it will, but it very well could. And I'll show you why real quick. And then we'll go through a couple of these tokens. Check this out. And right now, so Bitcoin trading, this is November 18th. We're at 92,489. And you will see before I show you the liquidation map, the zone that we had identified was 80 to 90 that we communicated, 80 to 90,000. We actually hit in there. It bounced right off the top of it, but it did actually go to like, I believe 80, high 88, 89,000, pretty sure. Low 89, 183. So we actually hit the zone, but however, check this out. On our liquidation maps, this is a yearly view, which I don't usually go that far out, but look at this. And this is why we've been saying 80 to 90, which at 83,000, there is $704+ million of leverage. That's that bright green zone here. So lots of leverage, over $1 billion. Certainly wouldn't be shocked to see that go away. But look down here. This is $67,011. 394 million plus, multiple layers there. That I think would be your dead bottom. At 63,246, there is zero leverage. If we hit 63, anything, you're going to see all hell break loose. So this is going to be fun to watch, ladies and gentlemen. And again, you can see just on Bitcoin. Now I hold Bitcoin. I'm not selling it, even if it could go to 66. I think it would be a fast V-shaped recovery. With just everything that's coming with the Clarity Act and everything else from Congress and all that, and the nation states buying it up. I'm not sure they'll let it get that low. I think that could be almost a black swan event, or create a black swan event. We'll see. Again, I still see continued weakness here. I mean, our lines and our standard deviations are not ready yet. The white line's not anywhere near these upper extremes. We don't have any diamonds on the daily. We're only in the gray. So, I don't necessarily see this being the bottom for Bitcoin, but that's just me. And you can see we have now updated our Bitcoin charts to identify that 63 to 70,000. And that's in addition to the 80 to 90,000 that we've already identified and communicated in the past videos. So I wanted to show you all that. This is going to get real interesting really quick. Another one I wanted to show you all tonight was Plume. This was one that's one of our community members brought to us. And I find this to be very exciting actually now. So check this out. We've actually penetrated down below the opportunity zone that we identified. And I want you to see what you're getting here. This right here on the daily. That is a cluster of 3 level 3 diamonds, my friends. 2 of the 3 hot sensors are red, 1 is orange. The only thing we're missing is this white line, which is approaching the green zone, which is an opportunity zone. We want it to get up through that red. You start seeing that, I'm not going to tell you to buy anything, but that's one I may have to seriously take a peek at because we're down here at roughly 3 cents. The upper leverage liquidation zones are around 15 to 16 cents. That's a 5x, my friends. Those are hard to come by. So I wanted to revisit that one. Thanks to whoever brought that to our attention a couple days back. Don't recall the name at this point, but thank you again. That is Plume. Again, we're not telling you to buy it. We're just identifying the opportunity zone. But what we will do real quick, since we did do that, I'm going to scale this back to 3 months. We're going to take a look at Plume real quick and just take a peek and see how much further we could actually go here. Man, look at this. Crazy. So we get zero. I mean, literally $0. You're talking $174. I mean, come on, guys. Ugh, God. 0.0213. And you can see we're literally there. I mean, not a whole lot down here. And look at this up here. Isn't that beautiful? That is a lot of leverage for this particular token. Not in dollar terms, but in this, for this token it is. So I think they're going to go get that. And you can see all the way up to 15. So at least 11. Let's say 11 and a half to be fair. That is still almost a 4x from here. I'm going to put that one on my watch list here, ladies and gentlemen. That is Plume. Let's take a look at Doge. I think I read something today. I think the ETFs are coming next week for Doge potentially, or the first one. Again, you can see we had called out this zone. We're all in it still. Things still look pretty weak. Now, a little different here. Our white line and our standard deviation on Doge, folks, it is now in the green zone. That orange line is approaching or about halfway, and it's not quite where we want it to be. I think if this continues higher, once that white line gets toward those extremes, by that time that orange line should be approaching or in that green zone. The blue should be approaching it as well. That would be a firing point right before those ETFs. I've been saying it. Watch it. We're all in the zone. We've identified it for you. Again, can't tell you to buy it, not a financial advisor. But that is our zone that we identified. Of course, we made our trade. You all saw what it was. Don't need to rehash that. You can go look in the video. It's not hard to find. Again, on Doge, level 3 diamonds on the weekly. No diamonds on the daily here. Just need a little bit more movement on the standard deviation methodology at the top here. That is Doge, my friends. Avalanche. Again, I really like Avalanche long term. I think that's a lot of people in a lot of people's top 5. Again, you can see we called this zone out the last video or two. We're in the zone. Again, no diamonds yet. We are yellow on 2 of the 3 hot sensors, so this could still see some weakness. You can see here, this one is not quite as positive as the other 2 we just showed you. That still has a little bit of work to do for up here in these standard deviations. Again, and this is going to be consistent with a lot of these tokens. You're starting to see level 3 diamonds on the weekly charts. You can see what we did last time we got level 3s pop. Here's your level 3s. So here's your level 3s right here on the weekly pop. So I mean, the system doesn't lie. And you can see on the weekly, this is even better. You got a level 3 now with a red medium-term hot sensor, orange long-term hot sensor, yellow short-term. We get a little bit more movement to the downside here. If we can approach this lower zone around 1150, that could be special. At least special for me. And that's just my opinion. Again, got some work to do there. So not quite there yet. ALGO. I think this is one we actually did not have any... We did not have any zones identified previously. We put those on here today. So I wanted to show you all this because this is probably one of our, I put this in the bucket with the X's being XRP, XLM, along with HBAR in terms of, to me, potential. But so check this out. Bottom zone here, 12 cents to roughly 14 cents. We're trading at 15.76. Again, all pretty similar in terms of the standard deviation methodologies. Y'all know where that needs to be. Don't need to say it again. Um, yeah, I mean, it just looks continued weakness here. Yeah, that's all I can say there. API 3. Okay, so API 3 again had a deal with open banking. It's being absolutely crushed. And you can see we had our level threes over here at the very top up here at $1.90. It's now trading at 57 cents. But I do want to show you this. I do not own this. I'm not buying this personally. But we are in that zone as well. And that's upward. The upper zone is around 160, which is a 3x, give or take, 2.5, 3x. So API 3, I don't know if anyone follows that one. It's got some interesting backers, but just thought that was interesting. Let's see, we'll go to, look at Aave. Aave, pretty similar to the other ones. We'll skip it for now. Oh, render. I do want to cover render. I put this one in the same, in our, oh geez, forgot, crypto depend plays. So render, you can see we hit the zone once, actually twice right here. And this was that today? That was today. So we did bounce down and hit that. We got a level 1 diamond, so nothing too crazy there. Hot sensors are, all three are different. White line is working higher, so that's positive there. We're not quite where we need to be. So yeah, we can see a little pressure here, but again, upwards of 420 to 450 on render. That is from $1.60 down here at the low. That is not too shabby. Again, not telling you to buy it, just identifying the zones for you. Solana, whew. All right now, Solana. See, Solana's looking, it's probably in the top two here. We got some positive movement here. The white line's in the green zone. So if I can show you that. So you can see that. Got some work to do on the other ones. We're literally in the zone as we speak. No diamonds. Varying hot sensors. So we'll see where we go. Again, keep in mind, a lot of times what happens with this system is you'll just like you saw here. You get these pumps down, retrace back to the cloud, pump down, retracement back to the cloud, pump down. So we'll see if it can break out of this zone here. Again, I would like to have seen some diamonds, but again, we're not quite ready yet. It's not quite confirmed. So still think there's downward pressure here. I don't think we have anything lower than that identified. We do not. But again, 240 on the upside, so that's $100 higher from here. So not too bad there. Level 3s on the weekly for Solana. That's nice to see. Yep. XDC, my friends. Again, we are holders of XDC. We have now entered the zone for XDC. Bottom zone of that will be roughly 4.5 cents. We're trading at 0.0519. So again, that's still another 10% potentially. Upper zone, pretty big zone here given the price point, but roughly 8 to 10, let's just say that, which is a double from here. So not too shabby there. Again, long term, I love XDC, trade finance, R3 quarter. If you don't know what those are, I'd advise you to go research. XLM, my friends, is now in the opportunity zone. I mean, I don't know what else I can show you. Upper zone identified, 41 to 45. Almost a double. Level 2s on the weekly. Got work to do on the standard deviations, mean reversion. And this is one I want to show you because this one is a stock. It's a Bitcoin miner. We crushed it last time. And this is CleanSpark. I want to show you. And we're getting level 3s at this moment. Now, we don't have leverage data because it's a stock. But I want to show you what we did last time. I had actually bought this on my personal stuff around, I think it was $11 and change. And I literally said, and this is on one of the YouTube videos, you can go back and check it, that it would likely go to the 20s or 30s. We literally made it to 23.16. Truly remarkable. Obviously we were out of that trade, but you can see we were only getting a cluster of level ones. And but what you saw here was red on the hot sensor, red on the hot sensor, red on the hot sensor. Plus, in our standard deviation methodologies, this is where a lot of people are used to seeing us be on the downside here. And this is why I'm glad I can talk to you a little differently, because this is on the upside. So when we got up here to these extremes, what we start looking for, you can see the white line hit those extremes like I always tell you. Look at where that was. The price was down here around $10, right? And that orange line, once it made it up here, we were sitting somewhere around, that 13.35. So once we reach those levels, what you really want to watch for is for that orange line to get back down into these lower extremes with the white line coming back down into the red. And if you look at that, that's right near the top. So that's what we're looking for once we start seeing these pumps. And I think you'll see that start forming on a lot of these cryptos once we get into a bull, kind of back to our bull market. So, but look at this on the daily, level threes. Now you can see we're only in the yellow, we're only in the gray, only in the white. So, you can see our white line is still well below that green zone in those lower extremes. So what you could see here with the level 3 is a pump back to the cloud and then a resume downward. I would not be shocked to see that here. But again, this is a Bitcoin miner, so if Bitcoin dumps, you're going to see some pressure, but as it resumes higher over time, you're going to see this resume higher, just like it did here. Again, not telling you to buy CleanSpark, just an opinion. That's exactly what we did last time. So pretty nice here on CleanSpark. So yeah, we will take a look at. Do we want to look at MetaPlanet? No. My zone's getting crushed. I don't know how many level 3s we can get here. We're getting more level 3s. We're red on the week, red on the weekly view. So I mean, everything's where it's supposed to be. We just need this white line to move, and then that should start pumping. But again, that's the one we put in our little $500 portfolio. We're just waiting for it to do something here, or we're going to lose the 500. But again, you don't have to emulate my trades. My trades are not financial advice. It's just what I'm doing to try to maximize returns on that little portfolio. But that is that. And we will always take a look at XRP to close out the day. The second ETF, by the way, went live today. That was Franklin Templeton, by the way, which uses Coinbase for custody. I'm surprised this is actually hanging in here around this opportunity zone we identified. I figure we might still see some downward pressure. Again, you can see even in our standard deviations, we're not quite where it needs to be. Hot sensors aren't really orange or red. We don't have any diamonds. So this screams lower, and unfortunately, it could get ugly. But we'll see. We've got two zones identified down here between 170 to 180. Then a true bottom down here around 142 to 150. So. And then you can see the upper zones up above $3 once we resume higher. So we'll need to watch these standard deviation lines. Once these ETFs start getting a bunch of inflows, we'll see what kind of impact that has. But a lot of times those are sell the news events. So we'll have to wait and see. Again, I'm still holding all mine, so it doesn't really matter for me. That is XRP, friends. I think that's going to wrap it up for tonight. Again, if you enjoyed the technical analysis of cryptos and stocks, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell. We appreciate you. Appreciate all the comments. Tell us how you feel about the system. Tell us how you feel about the signals. And we will see you later this week. We love you.